Good morning, and this is the crypto day morning. Today's date is in that of Thursday, the 27th of December, 2018. My name is Derek. All bets trades within the like, within each his own risk and their own reward. Bitcoin becoming very neutral within the last few days, supporting the lower line at around 3,700, resisting the upper area at around 4,100. Meanwhile, price action coming back to the 18 average area, thus a correctionary phase, and breaking either side of the resistance or support. Well, I'll be looking for a play to the next line. I think if it's breaking support, I would be very this would be a small area of support, but there's so many layers. You got this one here at the 37, previous low at 31, and breaking that a significant break below 3,000, as is bear market territory. You make the lower high, you fail this, it's not a surprise you make a lower low. And if it's able to break out above 4,100 and change, and noticeably well over 42, then I'd be looking for the price to make a move to its next target at around 48.5. And we take a look at this on the shorter term time frame. Multiple hits of support and resistance amongst this level, correcting right now within this. But we take a look at this on the single hour time frame. Many opportunities for this market to have its move. There was a shot where it could have broken out to the upside, didn't do so, and then after that we have why isn't it, there we go, why isn't it taking this? Then this was a decent shot where it could have broke down. After all, it came down to the support, resisted the 18 lows, didn't break down. Another opportunity for it to break out, obviously not so much. And another opportunity in here in breaking down, as it was showing many levels within the 18 average of lows up until about 3 hours ago, but it's just mainly made a move up to this upper end. So shorter term, there's resistance at around 38 low change. So for that short term, if it gets above that, I'd be expecting a fast move to 41, but it is testing more of this support range, and more likely it supports it, the more likely, of course, it takes it out at this stage. We'll go back to cryptos in a little bit, but let's take a quick look at gold and silver. And we'll start with silver and the daily chart, which has managed to get above this resistance. Did so yesterday. It has came back to this level here within the day and rallying above the previous highs. We're now at levels not seen in the US dollar since August of this year. And now it's having a break. Maybe you can fill some of this empty space on the weekly term time frame. It's just breaking out above the 18 average when taking a look at gold against the Canadian dollar, rather that of silver against the CAD. We'll look at gold next against that, but price action has managed to come up on the weekly time frame with an extensive breakout above, as it's now finding the support from the April lows. On its daily time frame, it's been in an uptrend trend for quite some time, and of course a lot of that is because the US fiat currency crossed with the Canadian dollar, as the Canadian dollar has been losing value against such. Gold against the Canadian dollar, a lot of similar things on the daily time frame, how it's just been scorching well above the 18 average, and amongst so on the weekly chart, it's at a retest of previous resistance from March of this year, again in the spring of 2017, and really its all-time highs, as it has been in this mode for quite some time. This sideways action, all decade you can say. Support at like low mid 1200s, resistance at the 1800-ish level, which where it's at now. So it's pretty much almost a good likelihood when this thing gets going for its next leg higher, it could have some decent moves, especially when gold breaks its resistance, and it's got a little base to go against the US dollar. But amongst its chart, it's got the major level of resistance here about 1300 and 2/3, and after having this little fall, which is a higher low to the last higher low, then breaking out above here would be a fast move to previous high, and against the Canadian dollar it would be decent sized breakout against new highs, although most likely but not definitely not guaranteed. What would happen is if, say, gold has an extremely nice breakout above this level, then the US dollar index is probably going to fall against other currencies. So if whatever this gains against the US dollar, it'd be a little less than that against most other currencies. But lately, of course, gold has basically overperformed in every currency against the US dollar. Let's move on to alternate coins on the cryptocurrency front. As I mentioned in the crypto day morning yesterday about ETC looking ready to go, and sure enough, it broke the level of resistance below 1300, getting up to about near 15, pulling back a little bit, and it came to an area you think it would. Where did it come from last? This is where the line is drawn in. When we look at this on a shorter term time frame, now having a little bit of a correctionary mode, has yet to come back to where it came from, but close. That's in the area of a little over 1300 on the single hour time frame. We can see here that if it goes there, then it's really just part of its correctionary mode. And it's, to me, when you have a move like this, a decent break above the 18 and such, I think it's a must to hold where it came from, which is the area around the 1200-ish or so level. That's also in line with the 18. Now, it doesn't have to find its support now, but you notice, especially when you're looking at this short term, that it's able to regain momentum and get above this high. Then we'd be probably looking for a good chance at another decent leg higher. And the next key area is around the 1900 or so mark. Next up is LSK, which established this level of resistance after an extended correctionary sideways movement. Beautiful action amongst this 18 average of highs, and it had a move testing this previous level of resistance, but now back to the trading area where it came from, which is at the area of the 18 average of highs. So we'll look at this on a shorter term time frame. So far, this move is not a failed one, because I want to see, after a move like this, successful play within the 18. So far with this rising, I think it's really important in holding something amongst that area. We look at this on a single hour time frame. There is your back to this area of where it came from. So is there a weakness at the 18 lows? No. To me, it's neutral. It's pretty much going sideways from this move in here. And if it does end up faltering in this point, yeah, maybe at around 3640, that might just be an extended level for support, but I wouldn't be too optimistic with it. And I think if this is going to get going, it should do so without much more further decline, at least when you look at this on that short term. But if it does go back down there, that's when we start talking about correcting down below this area. And within it, because you've been back to where you came from, you've had this move, you've had a nice little correctionary spot, unless you're able to hold and stay above it and do something like that, I gotta think if this thing is ready soon for a leg higher, that we would be seeing within the day some further acceleration up towards here, like within the next many hours, and then probably a good chance at gains further. But when I look at something as far as a move is concerned, wasn't a surprise that we had such. You had this resistance level. The move is over, and now now you're waiting for the next one to set into place. And right now in this current time frame, I don't see much available for a probability going up or down to a significant level coming soon, or what the next move would probably be. Let's take a look next at ZRX, ticker symbol 0x. And we've had some days just showing some strength. They're staying amongst the 18 average of highs, which is neutral but barely starting to rise on the 4-hour term time frame. What we can see here is this little area of previous resistance in here. Looking now that it's supporting such, this little high in here was taken out higher. Then we have a correctionary support move that has worked so well, managing just recently to get above and sticking around this 18 average of highs now. So most certainly, definitely in the uptrend variety right now. And the single hour, it's had this move still correcting within it, but if it falls, we'd be looking to go down to the lower end. However, again, because of this daily chart, if this thing ends up having a nice little breakout above here, then this thing could have a serious chance to make a nice 20, 30, 40% gain in probably a relatively quick period of time. Komodo is next. And my lines represent where buy and sell orders happen to be. Maybe it's a little bit too low, possibly, because breaking it above this resistance, my play was to go to 21.46. So I'm going to keep it at that level, but I think it's going to have a decent chance at a breakout. Maybe a better sell order might be around 2,200. What I should probably do is look at the order book, see if there's any wall blocks in the area. But it does look quickly that this thing is going to go close to 22. But I like how this has been playing within the 18, managing right now to get above this 19.5 resistance as we're seeing this play through. And this move in here, we can see has had a 3-period quick move to this level. Small amount of correctionary moves, as we can see in here, but looking on the 15 and as well as the 5-minute time frame that this thing is ready to get going right now for its leg higher. So thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.